Hey there, lads and lasses. This here is Thunderhand64 coming at you live from the west coast of the United States here on a Friday afternoon. It is just past 3 o'clock, and that can only mean that it is time for some Buffooncraft SMP today. And momentarily forgot how to work my audio there for just a moment. But we're back. We're back on track here, and let's get to a little bit of building today. I want to switch my screen immediately because otherwise this is going to become the thumbnail. And all right, so let us do that. Let's get over to our display screen like this. And I wanted to do this and start from the launch screen because have you guys noticed this? When I logged on today, I could see the little fires everywhere. I mean, this describes my life very accurately, just putting out fires constantly. Metaphorically speaking, of course. So I guess they have a little button down here you can put fires out like that. But I have no idea what that is about. Have any of you logged onto Minecraft today? If you have, did you notice that? And do you know what's going on with it? I mean, it is March 31st here. Let me see. 7 midnight. Okay, so it is April Fool's back over there in Stockholm, over at Mojang, so I don't know. Maybe the fire has something to do with that. I'm not certain, but anyways, okay, let's log on to Buffooncraft and let's see what's going on over there. Let me take a little drink here to wet my whistle. There we go. That's just a little bit better. That's not just a little bit better. That's quite a bit better. So camera adjustment right about there. I think that's good. And let me see. Multiplayer. And let me see. The music's still a little too loud. I'm going to bring that down a little bit more into the background where it belongs. Probably right about there. Then we're going to have to adjust some game sounds and some stuff like that. So. And but first, before we get too far into that, let's take a look at the chat. The mighty Princess Nebula is here. Woo! And Shut Mountain himself. So both fellow buffoons, both moderators and good friends. Welcome you two. Shut, thank you for the shout out for Princess Nebula. And Nebs, if you wouldn't mind, I don't know what you're up to right now, but oh, and there's the shout out for Shut Mountain. Thank you for shouting each other out. Mods, thank you. I appreciate that. And on Twitch today, I got the notification in the email that it is Mods Appreciation Day. I am very, very lucky to have the mods that we have here. And I would like the both of you to know from the bottom of my heart that I appreciate the both of you and the rest of my mods here. I am knitting the second sock. Okay, so Nebs has been knitting a pair of socks. The first one is, I assume, completed. And she did post pics of that on the Discord, so you should go check that out. Very colorful. Of course, you would expect no less from the colorful builder herself, Princess Nebula. Mod appreciation, does that mean we get a smack in the head? It's the most appreciative and affectionate smack in the head. All right, let's log onto the server here. Let's see what we have going on. Yeah, so we're doing all kinds of mathy things today. What I did earlier today, I did log on earlier today. A Gibbs smack. So I did log on earlier today and do a little bit of prep. Got ourselves some sand and some sandstone. And so I went and laid out these the edges, the guiding edges for the plane so it will intersect the sphere to make the circles. So those are, and that was some pretty tedious work. A lot of scaffolding stuff to do there and everything. But these help us project the lines through the spheres, and where they intersect, they form the circle. So you can see we have the top part of that 60-degree circle there. And so today I figured I would work off of this one and try to get the bottom arc of that so I can complete that circle. So that's going to be my plan today. And let me see, top to bottom, left, right. I don't know how I'm going to go about doing that. Probably, since gravity works in that downward kind of direction here, maybe start from the bottom and work up. Maybe something like that. But I'm going to need the sandstone and stuff in my inventory. Sandstone and dirt. Exactly does. Hey, Shut. Rule number 9. All right, here we go. So let's get the inventory all loaded up. So how are the two of you doing today? Shut, you're probably still in work. Hopefully you're on your way home. Let me see. I'm going to carry about 4 of these at a time. There we go. There's no need to be that extreme with it, though. I don't really need that much dirt, though. But a lot of this falls, and then it winds up despawning. So let me see. Plenty of rockets. We should be good to go there. Yeah, because it does take quite a bit of flying back and forth. I'm going to try a slightly different technique this time around. Nope, I'm home. It's a Friday. I've been leaving early on Fridays. Good for you. Good for you. You know what? I'm going to put another stack of rockets in the inventory just so I don't have to load up later. We're already down here. So let's go do that. That way we are all set to go. Thusly. All right. Let's get back into position up there. Then I'll have to shut off my game music too while I'm at it. Maybe with the other music going, it'll confuse the algorithm enough where I won't get a copyright strike. Oh, my face. Let's do that. And, you know, I can code that so it'll, or code that. Choose the option to keep the music permanently off. But when I'm playing and I'm not streaming, I've found I really miss the music quite a bit. So, all right. So let's do this. So you saw the projection of the sphere right here. And what I was thinking on doing is, you can see how I have this line here I was using to help me project some of these guide blocks over here. And I was thinking of just taking this and running it this way and see where it intersects and using that for the intersection. So yeah, let's do that. So it's not that hard to do. Famous last words. But let's get over to here. Let's go into, and again, I'm using mini HUD feature for this. Let's go over to shapes. And I think it's this line here. Okay, so we can set right there, and we'll bring it down by 1 notch. But here is where we have to change things a little bit. All right, so here I want things to match in the X and Y, because I want to run this north to south. So that would be 185. 1852. 0.5, and the 0.5 is because it's measured on the center of the block. And then let me see, this goes northward, and that's increasingly negative, which means it's decreasing. And so we'll just probably bring that to right about there. And let's see what that looks like. Okay, that's good. All right, and let's just fly over there, and let's just have ourselves a look. Okay, and you can see where this disturbs me a little bit because it's hard to see where that intersects. And that does tend to drive me nuts. But let's get over there anyway. The good thing about this is I don't think I need to bring the dirt all the way over there. So what I was doing before was just just bridging out here with dirt like this until I got to the section where it intersects with the sphere. The line intersects with the sphere. But maybe I can make some adjustments on the graphics of that sphere so it's a little more obvious where it branches out. And here I'm missing that swift sneak a little bit here. We might... Okay. And here I can kind of branch out this way a little bit. So I don't wind up getting into the sphere myself because that messes up my vision here a little bit. Not in the physical sense, but maybe I should go to the inside with it. See, it's kind of hard to see where it intersects like that. So let's take a look here. Let's mess around with the settings for the sphere itself. Maybe if I go full on opaque with the sphere, like... Yeah, see, it's hard to see where it intersects. I mean, if I go something like this. See, am I looking through the sphere at... See, I would think that that would be showing the intersection. Like, that's where they intersect right there. So I'm going to try to go for that and see if I get the kind of symmetry. But it just happens to have the same kind of graphic when you're in where your eyes are intersecting with the sphere as well. So when you're on top of the sphere looking down, it's not as bad because you're not intersecting with it. So this is one of the things I meant by maybe I should be on the inside of it while I'm down below it. There we go. So now my head isn't in the sphere now. But see, now they look like they all intersect because I'm inside the sphere. So, yeah, see, it's kind of weird. You know, I really need to see those intersection points. So does that mean, let me see, for the line... Maybe the line should be almost at 100%. And it is, really. It's very close. I like to be able to see the block a little bit through the line. Right? But then, like this. Okay, now the sphere is much more transparent, but it's still, you can see where it still has the same kind of effect for me, where it's hard to tell where it's intersecting. My head has to be outside the sphere as I'm building here in order to see the intersections. You can see how it was very obvious before, and now that I've made it more transparent, it's a lot less obvious now. So let me see. See, it looks like those are the intersecting lines and stuff. Okay, let me take a look here over at chat. Let me get caught up here. Don't remember the rule number 9. It's been a while since. Trying to get the ducks in a row for this weekend, Nebs is saying. Not sure what I am going to do. Go your gnome way tomorrow. Oh, hey, you're competing to go your gnome way. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Buffoon thing on Sunday. We'll talk a little bit more about that towards the end of the stream. If I make it to either of those, yes, I have a visitation and funeral this weekend. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. So not sure yet if I'm going to make the Minecraft events. Understood. Understood. All right, let's do some sleeping here so we don't wind up. Where am I here? This is what I want. Being mobbed by mobs here. There we go. So again, you know, I need to be able to clearly see where these things intersect. You may be asking, well, how did you do the other one? In a very long and tedious kind of process. That's how I did the other one. Right, so I think... See, yeah, again, you know, this... You know, are those intersecting that, or are they not? You know, it's just kind of hard to tell. One of the other things I might be able to do is sometimes I can look at the render type. I can do the outer edge of the blocks in the sphere. I can do the inner edge. So it looks like that. Or I could do full block. And you know, full block might wind up being the way to go. All right. And let's make sure that I'm set for the same thing. It doesn't give me that option here. The other thing is I'm not really sure what combine quads means. Oh, okay. I'm wondering if that's going to be helpful. Because it takes less graphics like this, and where I'm going to be using one line at a time, it might make it easier to see. But see, you know, I'm not sure I'm looking at this correctly. All right, I'll tell you what. Let's just extend this through. Okay, this looks to me like it's no longer intersecting now. So I get intersection and no intersection, right? So I'm just gonna go with that and see if it winds up mirroring it or not. And if not, I'll just have to come back off screen later and fix it. So the sandstone, those are the blocks I want to keep. The dirt is the blocks that I do not want to keep. Right. And I'll come and I'll remove this stuff later. Now, I can just run on back here now. And you know what? I can stand on this one as I put the other ones in. So... like, I can target this block now. And I can do this. And I could just move the line over now. And now I don't have to build dirt out every single time. So set that there. Let's bring it down a block. And I think it's based on where I'm standing, not the block I'm targeting. Yeah, that's not cool. All right, so let's temporarily take this off, which is a little bit shaky to do. I just have to really focus here to remember to put that back. Let's do this. Set here like this. Okay, that's a little better. And then these I need to make the same. I need to bring that up by 1 block. That should be fine. This also needs to increase by 1 like that, and then I should be okay. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and this is good because all I need to do is raise and lower these by 1. Let's do the bottom one first. So if I just do that, like that, see, I get this bottom one now. But I can stay on this. I can stand on this. I'm just going to have to extend it outward a little bit. And anything in this track that doesn't belong, let's get rid of this. I think I'm going to be able to see that anyway. And again, you know, I'm not really sure what I'm looking at here as far as... Now, see, did this just turn color because I stepped out of it, or is it no longer intersecting? It's kind of hard to say. It looks like the intersection starts there. Like that. So if I do this and continue all the way across now. Okay. Now this one I have to be wary of. Because it'll pick up, because of symmetry, it'll pick up again on the other side. It'll intersect again out here. Probably going to need some more dirt. There, see what I mean? Right there. And again, I kind of think this is kind of confusing. See? You know, what am I looking at here? Yeah, it's kind of hard to say, right? I mean... Center block's going to be right there. Should grab some red wool. Let's do this. Let's head out through the sphere like this and back up. No, let's not do that. It's not letting me place a block there. Why not? Because I'm in my own way. Is that why? Really? Now, the thing I have to be concerned with, see, this being on the outer edge, this should continue all the way across. And it's not, and it's disturbing me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to, and this is going to be a good skill for an upcoming Buffoon event. Anyway, we may as well get used to this. Let's get down below the sphere, well below it. Like that, so we can look from the bottom up. That way we're not inside the sphere. Let me see. There, that's what I want. Dissipating water, yes. So building from down below and looking up, that's going to be a skill that's going to be critical after this Sunday. So, all right, so you can see what I'm looking at here. I'm trying to gauge where this intersects and where it doesn't, and that's the challenge here. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this way. All right, we're going to have to do some sleeping at any rate. And then I'll have to check the chat and see what you guys are up to over there. Let me see. And Shut, the rule number 9 is always carry a sharp, pointy object. Yeah, I'm missing the reference on that one myself. I thought it was speak softly and carry a big stick. That's Teddy Roosevelt. Wasn't that Teddy Roosevelt? Yes, it was. Be back in a few minutes. This event is where you turn crouch to toggle, not hold. All right. How to do this? So, see, clearly that outer one here should be intersecting on the outside, and it's not. I don't like that. Maybe, again, if I look at the sphere, maybe I can try outer edge like that. Does that help me? See, I don't want to do inner edge because that's really confusing. See, all of that looks like it's intersecting to me. Right? And so if I did this, you know, and I wanted to be the intersection of this one that we did before, I would be doing something like this all the way over. And let me see. I'm not here. I feel like I'm outside the sphere enough where I can see. Well, I'm fully outside the sphere at this point. So my head isn't in there. So my viewpoint. Now, if I go along here like this until I stop. Not until I stop, but until these no longer look red. Then that's where the intersection should cease. And I think I see it coming up. Right? So that should be the border, like that. Okay? And now the same thing should happen to the one next to it. Right? So, thunder. Like this, like that. So those should not be in there, right? Now, that being said, it looks to me like I would have to be working from the inside out if I were going to be doing this. Okay, let's check the other end. We're not going to need all this stuff. Now that I can swim down there, I can recover my dirt. Okay, so it's just trying to figure out how we're going to do this first, and then we can go nuts and start smashing all this stuff out, right? All right, so I'm going to extend this away, and just for now. Let me see. Is this all dirt behind that? I think it is. Again, let's get past the midpoint. Yeah, I'm right at the edge here. Let's bring this out a little bit more. Okay, so see, that's where that one ends. All right. And this one. Yeah, I'm going to have to move inward a little bit. Probably about that much, maybe. Okay, and that one ends there. Okay, that's good. All right, all of this is going to have to be updated. So that has to be sandstone all in there. But being outside and building underneath is not going to help us. I think we have to be inside and building underneath. I think that's what's going to have to happen. Right. So let's reclaim all of this dirt and some of the sandstone that fell, because we're going to run out of materials really fast here if we're... Now, as long as my head is not inside the blocks of the sphere, I should be okay. I won't get everything looking red like that. So... All right, let's go down. Let's. You know, I had half the mind too to assign my allays to fetching me the fallen blocks, but God, you know, allays are so hard to manage. I'm just gonna lose them. They're just gonna die. They're just so they're so hard to manage. If I'm not like 100% focused on the allays, and I fly off to somewhere, they'll try to follow me, and when they can't, they'll get lost, and they're just so hard to manage. Otherwise, it would be really cool, you know, if I could just give one a dirt block and give the other a sandstone block, and then anything that falls down below, they'll just fly down, pick it up, and bring it back to me. Now, I guess I could set a jukebox over near a chest or something like that, so, or some sort of hopper into a chest, and then they could drop them off in the chest. I suppose I could do that, but I don't know. God, it seems more trouble than it's worth. Okay, let me see. How did I do this before? Jump, move forward, hit. Nope. Move forward, jump, hit. Nope. Jump. Flying out of water seems to be a major problem for me for some reason. I have no idea why. Well, I do have some idea why. Lack of skills. But there's some coordination thing where double tap the space bar to get you in the jump position, but you have to move forward slightly. So I think it's W once and then followed by double tap on the space bar very, very quick, and then hit the rockets. Sometimes it helps to be in F5. Sometimes I'll go into F5 mode there just so I can... All right, now I want to be down below this looking up. So again, my head isn't intersecting the sphere there. So we could do this trick again. All right, where I can get down. I don't want to be that high up. I want to be right here. There we go. All right. So if I go like this, see, I think my head is out of the sphere now, so I can see what's going on. I do need to be a little higher up, though, so the blocks that I'm looking for... Okay, and this is set for the outside of the sphere, the outer edge, so let's go full block. See, outer edge, full block. Let's look at that. All right, so if I placed... See, it's so deceptive, right? I mean, it's... Yeah, you know, I can see that that one's on the outside from being out here. Maybe directly underneath it. Let me think. But see, I'm still on the outside of the sphere, though. As I go up, that's going to be a problem. All right, so let me see. Forward tap tap rocket. Nope. Forward tap tap rocket. Forward tap tap rocket. Nope. Tap tap forward rocket. Nope. Tap. There it is. God, that's so hard to do. Let's see here. Yeah, I got to figure out a way that I can detect the intersection of these two things. See, if I'm above it, if I'm too far above it, then I collide with the sphere myself, and it's hard for me to see. But I could also... Yeah, see... Oh, God, now it's nighttime again. You know, I should ask Villager and Nova how they built the planets, because they built these spheres. It's just difficult to tell when your head is inside the block of the sphere, all you see is just red everywhere, right? So it's hard to tell what's intersecting the image and what isn't. At least it is for me. I don't know. Maybe it's not so hard for smarter people, but I don't know. For me, I just see, like, my head is inside the sphere, and now they all look like they're intersecting, right? Like, now I'm above it. Like, if I did something like... Yeah, now I'm intersecting. So, yeah, none of that helps me. See, the moment I get this one into place, I don't have to use the sphere anymore. I can mirror that over here and mirror this over there and just look where the two lines intersect and just bring two lines. I could bring a box all the way over, and I could see where each one... I won't need the sphere anymore. But right now, it's just too hard for me to see it. I'm not very good at flying out of the water. I'm back, by the way, yes. Yeah, there's something about the coordination of it to get the right combination. Because you have to be moving forward very, very slightly, but you have to be jumping too. But you're already bobbing in the water. So, you know, hey, I wonder if you turn bobbing off, if that's easier. Where is that going to be? I don't think it's going to be in accessibility, right? Maybe under controls, auto jump. Sprint, keybinds, mouse settings, sneak hold, sprint hold. Auto jump is off. Where is that bobbing in water setting? Where is that thing? Text back. Yeah, I don't think it's in here. Nah. It's got to be under controls, right? I mean, I don't think it's a keybind. Yeah. Do you guys remember what menu that's in? No clue. Unless they took it out. Huh. Anyways, I'll have to look at that later. Right now I need to solve this intersection problem. Again, it was, I was able to at least make some progress with this one because I was working outside the sphere looking down. So now you think it would just be the opposite, inside the sphere looking down or outside the sphere looking up. Herm. Well, just looking at empty space is not going to help me. I have to figure out some kind of way to do this. See, to me it looks like that's intersecting the sphere and that is not. Right? So but see, if I were now to look at this from this point of view, it looks like all of those are intersecting the sphere and none of these are. It's difficult for me to yeah, dang, I can't tell because they kind of contradict each other. I mean, I could sort of see that, but I can't really see below it. Like, we know there's going to be another layer on top of this, right? So if I started doing something like this, it looks like that intersects and that doesn't, right? So, but then that completely contradicts what I did down here. Take it all out. It's a mess. Take it all out. Start over. See, it looks like that's... But that doesn't make any sense geometry-wise for it to do that. So... I don't know. Maybe I'm not going to be able to do this. Maybe this is just too hard to do. This is one of these things like the Baby Zombie Rush stream on Wednesday. After the stream is over, when it doesn't matter, that's when I'll figure out how to do it. Yeah, I'm not sure that any of this is correct, so let's take a different look at this. Let's take a different approach. Because I may be able to use that structure above in some sort of way to project downward. Maybe I can do that. And I'm thinking if I use a rectangular plane, I might be able to just push that plane across corner to corner. And I might be able to do it that way. Instead of two intersecting images, just use one image. It'll be easier to see. In other words, don't use a sphere at all at this point. Because I do have one arc up there successfully. So let me clear this out and then I'll reclaim my trash down below there. Then I'll get above and we'll test using a rectangular plane and just going corner to corner. But that's going to require some heavy-duty mental math, though. Because I would have to fly there. I would need one corner to be on one of those blocks, and I'd need the corresponding corner to be on this block. It would be a lot easier if I could just use that sphere like I originally intended. Let me clean up my mess while I think about this. Thing is, I need 2 dimensions. So well, I don't know. I don't really need a 3rd dimension on that, because that's what that does. That takes one of the dimensions out for me. Let me think about this for a little bit. Of course, it's nightfall and I have to sleep. Going to use the Princess Nebula trick. You know, Thunder, you can sleep underwater. I just found the snack that I like. Oh, what are you snacking on? If you don't mind me asking. Oh, is that a puffer fish? No, that's actually a drowned. If you have a trident or a nautilus, I want that, but I don't want the zombie flesh. Thank you very much. And look, he's just outside of the conduit. Just out of the reach of the conduit, and that's why he's spawning over there. All right, I've just got to think about this. And I just have to do it wrong many, many times until the end of the stream. Then when the stream's over, it's going to be like, aha, that's what I should have done. Because brain does not want to work when the stream is on. Which is unfortunate for me. It really is. If I could just get the brain to work while the stream is on, that would be, yeah, that would be great. While we're streaming. See you now. Let me see. Jump W hit. Nope. Hit W jump. Nope. See, I'm convinced this bobbing effect, if we go into F5, right? And you can see when the wings open. See, the wings will... see how they opened there? So what was the difference? And of course, now that they're open, I can just rocket right out of the water. But... oh. Good, I get to try it again. Yeah, this is the whole stream. Thunder trying to fly out of water. See? What happened there? Why did that work? It's just double tap on the spacebar. Why did it work then? I don't get it. Because it didn't matter then. That's why it worked. Because that's when it didn't matter. All right. All right, so I've got to come up with a way. Because it's critical for me to... I've got to get moving and getting this done. All the buffoons are ready to move on, and the season's coming to an end, and I really got to finish this thing up. I need to figure out a way to make this thing work. If I'm on the inside, maybe I look at the inside edge. So instead of full block, I would think full block would be the way to go, but... And I think once I get through the sphere, my head won't be intersecting any of the sphere blocks, so I should be okay, but... All right, I need to move this line west by 1. So if I come back here now and go to the line, I have to subtract off 1 in the X like that, and I should be okay. Yeah, all right, here's the original. The problem is when I'm looking through sphere blocks at these. That's what the problem is, because it looks like they all intersect from that kind of point of view. The moment I enter that sphere, it's going to look like all of these things intersect. It's going to be hard to distinguish which ones do and which ones don't. See? Like, all of those do not intersect. But you can clearly see now let me try something here. Let me do this. Do you see how confusing that is? I mean, it's... there's no consistency like from the inside to the outside. And I just don't know what to do with that. Where does this line intersect this sphere? I need these sphere blocks that are along this line, and I don't need any others. And the same here with this. I mean, like, one should be right there. Again, you know, I need to be down under it. If I'm down under it from this point of view, I can almost, I can see it better. But as I go up, I'm going to be intersecting the sphere on that. But it's going to go up along the outside. It's not going to be inside. So outside is the way to go. So maybe I should stick with outside below. Maybe I should stick with outside below. Let's try that. I have no idea how that works. I still don't. All right, let's try this. All right, let's get way, way outside the sphere here. Maybe like this far out. And let's head on out over to here. Now, the music has stopped. That means it's going to be time to switch to standing mode soon, and we're about halfway through the stream, and we have accomplished nothing at all. No clue. Let me see. Townhouse flip side crackers. Townhouse crackers. Ooh. What's flip side? Guess I'll have to look those up later. There we go. Much lighter. See, now from the outside like this, it seems to me like I can see better. It looks to me like those intersect and the other ones don't. Now, this one's behind those. That doesn't help me. So maybe I should do that rearward one first. But you can see that that's going to be a problem all the way up. So start from the top and go down then, maybe. Yeah, maybe I'm going about this in the wrong order. But, of course, we're going to have to sleep again. All right. Yes, it is 4 o'clock. Let's go to standing mode. You know, I'm very strict at only giving myself like 2 hours to do a stream, and sometimes that bites me right in the butt. Because I've only 2 hours to figure out whatever it is I have to do. But really, my lifestyle doesn't allow me to be on here for 6 hours. I just can't do it. So this is going to be one of those things. Again, I'm going to solve this off camera. I know I am. Yeah, okay. We're going to need a lot more dirt first. I'm just going to leave this up here. Let me reset the music here. The soundtrack. Let me do this. Restart it for the next hour. And I'm going to go grab me a whole bunch of dirt. I should have some extra dirt over yonder. Coarse dirt, no thanks. Regular dirt, sure. I think we're going to wind up using way more of that than I imagine. All right, let me get topside, and let me look at this from the top down. See if I can reach that. I think well, sort of. And I removed all of the scaffolding. But this'll do. This'll do. Okay, I think I can stand on that block and get this. And then I can use the other steps on which to stand so I can stay outside of the sphere and look at that. Okay, now these sandstone ones already intersect the sphere, so I don't have to worry about these. I already know that. So I pick up these ones for free, if you think about it that way. It's not until I get down to here where the dirt begins. See, that's how I can tell. All right. I know those two intersect. I don't have to be too concerned with the ones from the outside, though. So I can just keep setting the... I can just keep doing this. All right, so here's the first one like this. Let's make sure that we stay straight on this. I can go like this, and I can just bring that line up to here now. Let me try that. So let's get the line set here in that direction, bring it down one like that. Okay, and let me see. East to west, that has to stay the same. 189. 1893. Okay, 18. Actually, the shortcut to that is this. I also set that there, and I also set this one down, and then I just add 200 onto this. There it is. Did I not hit enter on that? Or wrong direction. Subtract. Yeah, see, I did that. That should be a 7. There it is. Now it does. Now we're cooking with gas. Like that. Okay. So this is the one I'm looking for. Right? All right, now here is where I have to do the bottom one first. Okay, now I'm inside the sphere like this. So see, outside the sphere, it looks like it intersects right there. And see, I'm already ruining this. I got to be very careful about that. Like, I should probably be doing wool blocks with this instead of dirt. That way I'm not doing dirt on dirt. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Let's go get some of that. Because I don't want to ruin that pattern. And I don't want to take a block out of there and then forget. And then, all right, so let's just grab some woolly bits. Well, let's just go with a white. We've got tons of white wool. White wool. All I have to do is get my system figured out. Once I do, and then it's just smash this stuff out. Ow, my face. So, say I want to mark this stuff, those like like that. That way. How to grab this. Oh yeah, like this. I could just grab that one like that. Okay. This is one of those hindsight is 20/20 things. I should have just started with a wool in the first place. No. Okay, like that. Let me see. How to do this. That one first, then that one, then this one. All right, let's pull the mic over here a little bit. That's better. Let's get down here like this. Here we go. Yeah, these ones are the tricky ones here. I could. That's going to cause problems. Yeah, there's no way around it. I just have to do this and hope I don't make a mistake. It's asking for a lot. I can remember this now. Here and here. Then that'll help me over here. Here and here. All right. Okay, this is a little bit better. Right, right. Fuck, I just did it again. That's the move that I don't like. That's risky. Let me see. I am working on that sock. I have 6 more rows until I get to making the heel. Okay. And I started it today. I am on a roll with making socks. The last one only took 2 days. And the one I am on now, I am almost to the halfway point and started 4 hours ago and haven't been working on it the entire time. And just for reference, it normally takes me 2 to 3 weeks to make a pair of socks. And that, my friends, is what the old-timers call craftsmanship. Not suggesting that you're old, Nebs. I'm just saying. The dedication to time, not just smashing it out in any old way, but being able to focus at something for that long. Kind of like this. All right, I'm going to have to go get the rest of that white wool. And I know this seems like a superfluous step, but actually it's kind of critical, and I should have thought about that before. Let's get over here, and I'll update these other dirt blocks. I don't need to do that one because that one already projected that arc. So I'll have to do that dirt line and this dirt line over in wool, but I'll do those off camera. I'd really just like to get that bottom arc, but I don't think it's going to happen. Not on this stream. And I may have to get a little bit more of this white wool. Come here, sheepsisses. There you go. May have to stop by Kai's store. But I don't know. This might be enough. I mean, I only have that small bit down there. All right, let's get over there. I love a lot of crafty things, which is why I love Minecraft so much. It's a very crafty game. It's literally in the name, right? So, and I agree. All right, maybe we can help ourselves out here by doing a little bit of this. Not quite. Okay, that's good. There we go. Let's do that. And maybe a little bit of that. Let's hop down here. There we go. Yeah, this is the problem area right here. Because I have to memorize that, and that's always dangerous. Because the early onset dementia, that means that we can't hold things in our RAM, our biological RAM, for very long. So it's scary taking risks like that. Yeah, I just did that to myself again. If I'm careful and I remember to, I can set myself up ahead of time so I don't have to do that. Like I could set that there. I could put that there. Then I can get this one underneath. That's fine. Do that. Then I can just do this and this. I can hop down here. Yeah, this is the hard part. Well, no, I can do this one. I can do this one. See this? We just do that and that. And then we've got this one here, like this. Oh, we're done anyway. Like that. Okay, so this helps us out here. Whoa! Right on the edge. Okay, that's good. All right, see, now I can set temporary blocks. I can stand on them. I can do all kinds of things. See, that looks to me like that one doesn't intersect. This one does intersect, but it's like you have to check it from two sides. Like from this side, it doesn't look like it intersects. It just drives me nuts. You know, I can't see, or I can't, it's like my brain can't figure it out. I'm looking right at it, but of course I am on inner edge. And it's like, you know, maybe I want to be on outer edge for this part, right? Because I'm outside the block. It just looks weird to me. I think I have to be on full block. Let me see. That must be Nebs trying to get my attention. Would you like to hear a dad joke? Always. Always. Yeah, see? That one intersects. Like if I... Wow, looking at this from outside is really hard. But I'm going to assume, which is probably a mistake, but... I mean, that looks like it intersects to me. It's just how far does it go in, right? It looks like it only goes into one. See, I can look at it from both sides like this, and it will get me... It'll get me part of the way there. Like, those don't look like they intersect. But from here they do, and I know they must intersect. Okay, it looks like it intersects from there. Looks like it intersects from there, so I'm going to assume that that's where they intersect. Right? Yeah, that's what I need to do. Get on the outside of it like that. So these ones I don't need. All right. So if I'm over here now, and I do this, from outside it looks like it intersects there. From inside it looks like it intersects there. And so I'm good. All right. I've got a way to figure it out now. That's a little troublesome, though. Because from here, say this one doesn't look like it intersects from outside and inside. See, so I have to do that. All right, as I figure these out, I should be using sandstone to mark the ones that I'm sure about. All right, let me see. If a certain stringed instrument was alive and you tamed it, would that be domestic violence? Brought to you by Codename, my 15-year-old. Domesticated violence? You should say that one for story or violinity. Not that I don't appreciate it. Ooh, we have a little friend joining us. An uninvited guest. Bye-bye. All right, so this one has to go here. This one has to go here and here. Nice one, Code Names. Nice one. Now, see, here's where I think, like, that doesn't intersect a sphere there. So that one's got to go. So we could do... Okay, if you want me to sleep that bad, I'll sleep. See, now I just figured out where that block goes, and now it's going to leave my brain. He says thanks. No, thank you. Precious dad jokes. Channeling a little bit of Oscar Diggs there, you are. And no, I'm not going to say that with a Yoda voice. Oof, a little bit short. Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. That one there. Then I was getting rid of these. And I was getting rid of that. And now I've got to look at both of those. All right, so that one's got to go. And that one can stay. See? It's red from inside. Red from outside, so that can stay. All right, so that has to be a sandstone, and that has to go. Okay, like that. Good heavens. No, not that. Next. Now, how to figure this out? Say, I'm thinking that one doesn't... That's not the one that we're interested in. And I'm right. I think this one is. So it's red from this side, red from that side, and we're good. So that goes there, and that goes there. And we should get that and that as well. All right, so all three of those. All three of those, and if I do that, that should be wrong. Good. All right, so those can stay. Yep, that's good. And then... Right. Okay, so these next ones are good. You know what? I think we could do this. Let me see. Let's work from the top down. This one's going to be tricky, though. Maybe not. Yeah, we're good. Okay, now we've got a system going here. Now we're good. It's only 4:26. We only have 34 minutes left of the stream. So as you can see, as we bring the pattern down, we're going to go more and more that way. Let's get way down here. We may be able to extend several of these outwards. Those two are all set, so I can bring this in like this, baby. Now, yeah, again, this is going to be kind of tricky. So I think this is going to be two blocks like this. But I don't know, that face is open there. See, I don't know if I'm looking through this at the other one. Am I too far down below? Yeah, see, I don't think that this one intersects. I think it's just that. It's kind of hard to say, though. This one's pretty straightforward, though. All right. Yeah, this one's also pretty straightforward. All right, so I've learned I can't go too far down on this. All right, so this needs to be here. And then we can take these out. Again, this is where things get kind of confusing, right? That block is pretty obvious. This block is pretty obvious, but this one... See how it looks red all from all sides and stuff? Whereas this one, it's like this face is off. And the top face is off. So I'm tempted not to use that block and just go with this one, right? I think that's what that means. You know, it's all depends on the rendering and stuff and how the rendering works. Yeah, so this is pretty clear. That goes like that. Right. Let me take a look at the chat. Let me see. I went and told Vio she is playing Stardew. Yeah, in fact, I'm hoping she's going to stream long enough for me to go out to raid her. But I'm back. Chris grounded me for that joke, but Viola. Boy, you know, Chris and Nova are the humor Nazis. You know, I mean, it's like, come on, it's just a pun. Just relax. I don't know how it works when filling in. I know I can dig out the circle. Yeah, yeah. Circles and lines are pretty easy, but when it comes to this sphere, Mini HUD slash Minecraft tries, there are non-integer values here. And so it tries to render blocks that are in between. And it has to make a decision. Do I put it outside the coordinate or do I put it inside? Because it needs to be between and it can't, right? It's got to be integer values, right? And so sometimes I think it tries to render part of it on a non-integer block location. And that gets really confusing. It's like, could you just pick one or the other? Yeah, see, that's pretty straightforward, that one. That goes right there. But, that's also where the art comes in, right? You just choose one, if you can't, if it's not clear where it should go, you just choose it. Let me see. We're probably too low to do this properly, but let me see. That looks like it lines up with that one, so this would be the next one below it. There we go. Okay, so I think it's that one. Yeah. See, that one's very obvious. Yeah, see, and that one shouldn't be there. Okay, nighttime. It's about nighttime. I'm going to fly down and pick up my mess down here. Now, we're going to go through a lot of dirt because a lot of this stuff is going to despawn, but it's dirt. What can I say? Oh, I think I figured it out. After, let me see. Yeah, this would be my 10th year of playing Minecraft. Thunder. Yeah, I started way back in 2013. And I think we were on release 1.8 at that time. 1.8 or 1.9. I was up until the wee hours a few weeks ago, going through a lot of archived files to try once again to see if I could locate the long lost Generation 3. And I was not successful. But I was looking back at some iterations of Generation 1 and Generation 2. And it was fun to see Generation 1 again. That was my very first long-time survival map. And I stayed on that one for a very long time. Seeing my exploration style building, and Biggie Cheese was playing a lot with me back then. Not Kachi, though. Kachi was way too little. Kachi was only 2. But Biggie and I played quite a bit on that map when he was a little guy. So there's a lot of his builds on there that I look back on, and it just gives me the good feels. So it looks pretty much like Biggie's going to attend one of the local universities around here in Southern California. And I think he's got his eye on the same one I attended back from 2006 to 2009. And I don't know if that's going to be his final decision or not, but okay, so let me see. Top of the bob, double click it. Yeah, see, I think I got it. But I mean, Mrs. Thunderhand and I kind of wish on the one hand that he would be kind of bold and adventurous and go out because he's got the support, like he got an acceptance from Penn State, but I don't think he wants to leave that far away from home. Not yet, anyway. And so another one was Washington University, and a few others. But he's like a little timid to go out quite that far. And so so he's thinking on at least starting out local, which is kind of nice in a way because we have him around, which is nice, because I'm definitely going to be heartbroken when if he leaves and goes to some other part of the world, which is going to happen eventually. But that's going to be tough for me. But it's cool, So plus, I always told him, well, you can work on your bachelor's degree here, and then when you go for your master's, or if you do beyond that, you could travel to do that. You'll feel a little bit more confident. Okay, I think the next one is down here. Let me say, hey, call me Eve Gaming. Let me scroll back through the chat here a little bit. A man is washing the car with his son. The son asks, Dad, can't you just use a sponge? His face is all chafed. Look, Nebs had to think about that when you confused her. Shut. I got that one right away. That's the I think, not to be chauvinistic, but that is the male part of the dad joke right there. Like, I got that instantly. Oh my God, it's Thunder! Thunder collecting dirt. Yeah, collecting, placing dirt, digging it out, dropping it, collecting it, placing dirt, that whole routine. Hi, Eve. Whoops. Hey again, Nebs. Why do Valley Girls hang out in odd-numbered groups? Because, they can't even. The math teacher in me appreciates that one shot. It's his first year. He could always move away later. Regarding Biggie, yeah. Well, that's what we were thinking, He can always live in the basement till he's 40. No basements in California, Eve. Do you hear the joke about the wandering nun? She was a Roman Catholic. I got it. Okay. Here's my favorite one. What do you get when you cross a joke with a rhetorical question? So let me see. I'm afraid for the calendar, the days are numbered. Oh, its days are numbered, yes. Good Lord, if it isn't Corny himself. Okay, so honest admission here. I always thought I was following you, Thunder. And Eve said she was off to say hi to you. I didn't see you on, and that's when it made me realize that I don't even follow you. I'm a bad person. If you guys wouldn't mind, moderators, doing the shout-outs if you haven't already, and I just may have scrolled past it, for fellow buffoons, Eve, and welcome to the stream, K46 Sleepwalker, otherwise known as Corny, fellow buffoon and friend. Welcome. Welcome, sir. Why did the tree go to the dentist? It needed a root canal. See, now, unlike Chris Nova, I will not punish you for those. Although you should be punished for those, definitely. Thank you for the shout-outs. I'm not kidding. That seriously upset me. Okay. Corny, don't be upset, dude. Come on. Shut Mountain, I'm not your son. Dude, just come on in, relax, hang out for a little while, and watch me try to do this and fail. Although I did eventually figure this out, and I'm on a bit of a roll right now with it, so I'm doing a little bit better. Let me see. We do need this out here, though. We do need that. All right, so red from that side, red from this side, so I know that this is a block that I need. And how am I doing for time here? I have 18 more minutes, 17 more minutes. Let me do this. That's clearly a block. And I'll pull back and I'll give you guys a shot of what I'm trying to do here. I'm not trying. I'm succeeding right now. I should give myself that. I am succeeding right now. Okay, not that block. So I was right there. Okay. And not this one. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. All right, we do need to move down. I'm going to remove this, and then I'll pull back, and I'll give you guys a shot of what I'm doing here. Although you might have seen the pics I've posted in the Buffoon public Discord. Let me do a fly around. So I did plan on, before the season ends, trying to put the lightning effect around the hand here. And these are just guide markers, but you can see these arcs. The lightning is going to follow those arcs. Now, I'm just going to use these arcs as a guide, and I'm going to put the lightning, this is the way the lightning effects are going to path. So it's going to be that horizontal circle, this 60-degree circle here, and another 60-degree circle there. And so the lightning effect will path around that, but then I'll go remove these, or I might just use white glass for those. And that's the effect I'm going to go for with that. But the thing is, what I have to do is I have to construct a circle at a 60-degree and then a 120-degree angle. And so I have to use a little bit of geometry and a little bit of math to do that. And so I've got the top part of that arc already in place. And you can see now where I'm starting to put the bottom part in and around here and hook to the other side. So I'll have 2 of the 3 circles I need there. So that's where I'm at right now. Oh, and gee, thank you so much for the sub. And for some reason, my alerts did not go off. Let me take a look. Display scene. Alerts overlay is right there. It's locked into place. It should have gone off. Let me check that quickly and make sure that monitor is on for that. Alerts. Monitor and output. All right, so that should work. That's probably why. But thank you so much for the sub. I have a command on my channel. It's ! Dad joke, and it brings up a random one. I felt so bad when I realized I wasn't following. Corny or Jay. Eve is saying yes. I was so upset when I got fired from the calendar factory. All I did was take a couple of days off. See, so all of these kinds of jokes that you can't make on Chris's stream or Nova's stream, you can make them here. This will be a sanctuary for terrible puns and bad dad jokes. A guy walks into a bar. Ouch! No. A guy walks into a bar and he was disqualified from the limbo contest. Nice. If a child refuses a nap, are they guilty of resisting a rest? Nice. It's because I didn't deserve an alert. Corny! Stop that. Don't make me come over there. And I know it's a long way to get to you, but I will do it. What do you call a magic dog? A labracadabrador. See, now, the Irishman in me appreciates that because I like the wordplay. How am I doing for time here? 47. All right. I'm going to have to cease and desist shortly. I do need to finish a little bit early for two reasons. Number one, I hope Vio is still streaming. I think she is. So I need to set up the raid. But also, we do have some announcements to do, and I usually don't do those on stream, but this time I shall. So I want to give myself a couple of minutes to do that. There we go. All right, but all in good time. I want to see if I can put in another few blocks here while I'm on a roll. Let me put it on out there. I think that lines up with that one, so I think the next one comes out to here. Oh, yes, it does. All right. All right, yeah. So this is definitely a block. Let me see. We could do top to bottom. That's the order in which we're working. So let's just take advantage of the gravity of the situation. There we go. All right, this one's going to be a little difficult to do. Let me see. Red from that side. Red from, no, actually, this is quite easy. Great. All right, so I was a little premature in my placement of that block. But I'm quite certain that that one's going to go there. Yeah. How does he do it, people? Mathematics. That's how. All right, let me take a look at the chat here. What do you call a magic door? We got that one. I once had a dream. I was floating in an ocean of orange soda. It was more of a fantasy. That's not too shabby. Why did the Scarecrow win an award? Because he was outstanding in his field. Alrighty, I need some sleeps. Have a great one, everyone. You know, Eve, you would do really good on Oscar Diggs' channel. You would also be outstanding in your field. So have yourself a really good night there, Eve. And thank you so much for dropping by. We're about ready to end the stream anyway. I just want to place these last few here. And then I shall call it a stream. That is not... Okay. That must be that shape there. Or this shape like this, right? So I think the next one is going to come out like that. Okay. One of the other things I don't like about not being able to finish things on stream, that means I have to finish them later off stream. It's like, it's Friday night. I've got things to do. But that's what happens when we build things the hard way on Buffooncraft. All right, I think this is the next one, right? I think so. Yep. Right. We're going to grab this one over here. Okay, red from that side. Yeah, and again, these are the ones that are kind of confusing. But I'm going to go with that. All right, I'm going to use this one. Okay, that works. Let me see. How is this one looking? Okay, this one's going to be actually kind of hard to tell. I think it's that one. Yeah, pretty sure. All right, I need something on which I can stand. Good enough. I can go set these ones into place. I think this is the next row down here, right? He asked himself. Yes, it is indeed, he answered himself. Yeah, there we go. Hawk! That's probably a good place to end anyway. Night has befallen the server once more. But I at least want to get that block into place there, so I don't forget and make a mistake. Let's do that. Yeah, that's the one I want right there. It's the one I want. There. Good enough. And you know what? I think we should stop right about there. I think that's going to be good. Yuppers. Let's do that. That's there. Let's do this. Let's do a little bit of sleeping. And let me get into a better position here to sign off. Do my outro. Set up our raid. But let me see. I want a better angle. Now I thought I had some scaffolding set up over on this side, but I guess I don't. Okay, so let's from down here. You know what I'm saying? From right here. All right, so you can see from this circle here, we've got the top half of it, and we're just starting to come around with the bottom half of it right here. Let's change the angle there a little bit, something like that. I think that's pretty cool. Better. I know it looks like a mess now, but trust me, it'll be fine if I can only finish it before the end of the season. This is looking absolutely insane. Thank you so much, sir. I'm trying, as you can see, ultimate try hard. I'm definitely, I just hope I have enough time to finish it. With that, I would like to conclude today's Buffooncraft stream. Now, before you'll get there, Thunder, it's going to be amazing. I hope so. I hope I can just finish it before the end of the season. I think I can do it because we're going to integrate the portal in along those lightning strikes and stuff, and a little bit more branding and stuff. And I think that's pretty much going to do it for me. Anyways, I would like to, at this point, do have a little bit of announcement. If you've been checking the my community Discord and the Buffooncraft community Discord and the community Discords of the other buffoons as individuals, there's a big event coming up on Sunday, and that is going to be the kickoff of Buffoon Skies. So all I'm going to say is the streams are going to start. I don't know what time yet. I don't think the launch time has been determined. Hype, hype, hype! Definitely. But quite a number of us buffoons are participating. I think there's 12 of us, if I'm not mistaken. We've all paired off. Some are in groups of 3, of course. But I'm not going to say too much about it other than it's going to be a skyblock map. We're going to be using the Origins mod. 12 or 13, yeah, I thought so. And it's going to be super, super cool. Many of the buffoons will be streaming it on Sunday. I will not be streaming it. I'm going to be leaving for vacation tomorrow, and I'll be returning Tuesday night for Pacific Standard Time, and I will probably I'll probably join onto that server, the Buffoon Sky server, that Wednesday. Also, my teammate will be in the same boat. My teammate is also on vacation during the same time, and so we'll be coming back at the same time, which is kind of fitting. That helps us to coordinate things. And my teammate will be streaming, but I will not. I'm going to record all of our gameplay, and I am going to make a video series out of it. And I'm going to upload those videos weekly, probably on each weekend. On the Thunderhand _64 gaming 2 channel. Oh, heck yeah. So we'll be doing that, and that's going to be my first real attempt at a limited video series. I've downloaded DaVinci Resolve for my video editing software, and so I'll be recording all the gameplay and then doing all the editing and all the graphics and all that cool stuff. And so that's going to start on, for me, it'll start on Wednesday, but the Buffoons will be launching on Sunday. So please watch the Discord for the Buffooncraft Discord. And if you haven't joined for that, I'm going to log out of here. Let me change screens too. There we go. Let's go over to the cam screen, and then let me log out of Buffooncraft so I don't die while I'm in there. And so, yes, even though I won't be starting until Wednesday, I encourage you to log on, look for the launch time. Did I mistype that? My link for the Buffoon Discord doesn't seem to be working for some reason, which is a little strange. But please, you should be able to join the Discord if I can just get that up there. Oh, that's why. I see where the typo is. That's better. And Shut already had it up there anyway. Great. Thank you, Shut. And so if you join that, you can see the launch times. And I do encourage you to check out the other buffoons. They're going to start streaming right away, right on Sunday, and they're going to go right on through. So there'll be lots of hilarity because all of us are going to be in there together. It's going to be so much fun, people. So much fun. Season 4 will continue on through on the regular Buffooncraft SMP server. For how long, I don't know. We haven't decided on a conclusion date yet. I think it's going to coincide, though, with update 1.20, which is coming up in a few more weeks. I believe. So without further ado, let us now raid out to our good friend, fellow buffoon of Violinity. So let me set that up. There we go. First thing I should do. Vio has ended. Okay, I can see it. All right, I see it now. Let's see if we can raid out to somebody else. The nerve of her ending her stream when I ended mine, so I can't raid. Let's see who else we have. I'm not seeing anybody on right now, really. If anybody in chat right now also has somebody that they want me to raid out to, otherwise I'm going to just log off and go have some dinner. Yeah, she ends at usually around 8 p.m. Yeah, her time zone. Okay, cool. Yeah, okay. I'm 3 hours behind her, so that makes sense. We're wrapping things up at the same time. All right, well, with that, I think I'm just going to log off. Thank you so much, everybody, for dropping on by. Corny, thanks for the follow, dude, and the sub. I appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. And so, for the rest of you, our next stream, just remember that we do this Buffooncraft stream every Friday from 3 to 5. Our next stream, Kachi time, will not take place on Sunday. We will be traveling. We may try to squeeze in a Kachi time, maybe on Saturday, maybe on Tuesday when we return. We'll see. But we do that Kachi stream usually 4 to 6 every Sunday. Kachi has been doing some amazing stuff in Roblox. And we're talking like coding, game development, and Lua, and which is a C pound derivative. And let me see. And then our next stream will be Wednesday. That'll be from noon to 2. That'll be a generation stream, and we will be building on the server. And Wednesday also, I'll begin recording the. I'll be logging on to Buffooncraft Skies. Buffoon Skies is what it's called, and starting my recording. And that following weekend, I should be publishing my first video for that. So, Shut, is that a suggestion for a raid? I don't even know how to say that name. Yes, sir. Okay, let's try to raid out to Shut's friend here. Is there any mature language we have to let the family-friendly viewers know about? Yes, sir. Okay, a little bit of mature language there for family-friendly viewers. So just giving you guys a heads up on that. Let me see. There's the raid message. You can cut and paste that into the chat if you would like to join us. It's Mr. Taco, and yes, mature plus full charity. I didn't recognize his name actually, but I've actually Mr. Taco, of course. Yeah, now I know how to say it right. I've actually been in a couple of his streams before, so yeah, super funny guy. All right, let's raid out to Mr. Taco. Let's do this. Let me see. And rating out now. Enjoy the rest of your evening, afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you happen to be. And join us next time, everybody.